Hey guys, so festival season is here. I am packing for Glastonbury right now and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes out to talk to you about something that I think is super important. So as individuals but also as collectives, when we come together for something huge like a music festival, we produce so much waste. And so I'm making a really big effort this year to minimize the impact that I have on the planet during my experience of the festival. So I wanted to share some of my ideas with you and also hopefully get an idea of any recommendations that you have. And if you're not going to a music festival, these are tips that I think will also be quite helpful for whatever you're up to this summer. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is something that you've heard me talk about before, and it is just minimizing our use of plastic. So if you think that you're away for maybe 4 or 5 days at a festival and every one of those meals you're going to go up to one of the food stalls and get a takeaway in disposable packaging, that is so much waste in itself. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is taking along my picnic cutlery. And I actually was going to buy like a spork, one of those fancy 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 if there's a knife as well, pieces of a cutlery that you can get. But I already had these, so I figured why buy something new. So this is just really simple plastic cutlery that I actually bought for Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and we've got some cups as well that we will be taking with us. To be honest, I'll probably have mainly use those at the campsite, but I'll also carry a fork around during the day just so that I don't have to use disposable cutlery when I am grabbing my lunch. And even if things are compostable, it makes so much more sense to just reduce the waste, full stop, I think. So obviously sometimes we can't help it, but when you're in a position of choice and forward planning, I really recommend grabbing something like that to minimize how much you are throwing away. And then the other thing, of course, is my water bottle. So this comes everywhere with me, and yeah, I will definitely be taking this, and probably a coffee cup as well. I'll see how much. I'm trying to minimize my packing. So the next thing is to pack as little as possible, because the less we pack, the less fuel that we're going to use in the car, the less space we're going to take up on a train or on a coach, and the less you're going to have to carry across the festival site when you go and set up camp. The less you take with you, the less you're going to leave behind, and that is the other thing, is to make sure that everything you take with you comes back home as well. That's something that I think people overlook, especially when the weather's horrible and it gets all muddy, and the last thing you want to do after 5 sleepless nights is take your muddy tent home and even take it down and then get it home. But it's so important to clear up after ourselves. And that's the next thing. If we're going to be using things that we throw away, then make sure you throw them away in the right way. So rather than dumping things on the floor, find a recycling bin or the food waste bin, or just use the right bins to dispose of things to make the process of dealing with the rubbish as efficient and eco-friendly as possible. Speaking of eco-friendly, one of the things that we use a lot of when we're doing something like a festival is wet wipes, makeup wipes, and toiletries that we just kind of use and dispose of. So I have bought some really cool, well, I don't know if cotton pads are ever going to be really cool, but I've bought some organic and biodegradable cotton pads, and also some biodegradable wet wipes and face wipes. So I'm going to be using those, and it just means that if we're going to be using things that are disposable, that they are that they biodegrade. And then with that in mind, I've also packed a few snacks, of course, and I've just made sure that I pack things that are also compostable. So, for example, my favourite energy balls from Deliciously Ella are going in my bag, and their packaging is completely compostable. So there's just simple things, and they take a little bit more thought, but it really isn't too much of a hassle. I'm just going to check what else I put on my list. And glitter. Glitter is made of plastic, but you can get this amazing biodegradable glitter. So go glitter crazy, but find the good stuff. And that way you can leave a trail of glitter without having any glitter guilt. I don't know if that's the thing, but I think it should be. Oh yeah, and last one. Try not to pee on the land. I know that at Glastonbury in particular, that's their really big thing, but it's really damaging to the farm or to the land that you're on if all of those thousands of people are peeing on the land instead of in the delightful portaloos. So sometimes we just have to put other things before ourselves, and I think festivals is somewhere where we can make a huge impact or massively reduce the impact that we are having by just coming together and being a little bit more conscious of our actions. So simple things: use less, dispose of it wisely, and have a really good time knowing that you are looking out for the planet as well as your friends, and as well as having a good time. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, then you can see more videos like this by clicking here, or subscribe to my channel for future videos right here.